It's been 4 years since I permanently left America and moved all the way across the world here to Bangkok, Thailand. In this video, I'm going to share with you the biggest regrets that I've had. While it's been one of the best decisions I've made, there are a couple regrets that I have that I'm going to be sharing with you extensively in this video. That way you don't make the same mistakes. Starting off with number one is probably the biggest one. It's not planning financially. Now, it's easy to see these YouTube videos and assume that Thailand is extremely cheap and that your cost of living is going to be around $1,000, $1,500. That might be true, but I would anticipate spending more than you think. You see, Thailand can be as cheap or as expensive, but for the typical Westerner kind of foreigner budget, you're probably going to be going out, you're probably going to be going to nice restaurants, probably going to be doing some touristy activities, but that doesn't mean it's cheap. And in Thailand, there are a lot of unexpected expenses. For example, if you were to sign a condo, that's 3 months of rent up front. You have the 2-month security deposit, and then you have the first month rent and events. And if you're going to be booking Airbnb, which you probably will be doing when you're visiting here short term, expect to spend around 1.5 to 2x higher or even 3x higher than the average market price. So make sure you have your finances planned out. Make sure you have a good bit of savings. I would recommend having at least a couple $1,000s in savings. This is like your emergency fund that you don't anticipate spending. And then make sure you have a couple $1,000s in income, whether this is remote income or whether this is retirement income. I do know a lot of people who've moved out here, they didn't have any businesses or online income or anything, and then they figured it out. But I think it's quite risky. For the first year, I didn't make any money here in Thailand, never made content, never had pretty much any online income. And I was just burning through my savings. I'd recommend having some stable income or at least expecting to make some money here in Thailand before you make the move. And by the way, if you're interested in finding a remote work job that allows you to work from anywhere, then you can hit the free resource in my description down below. Number two is going to be for the men watching this, which is chasing women non-stop. You know, I get it. If you're a single man, you've heard many great things about Thailand and the relationships and the women here, how they're so friendly, how they're so feminine, and how they're very easy to talk to and everything like that. It can be a huge mistake in your life to spend so much time and energy and money pursuing women here and having it distract you from your goals, your productivity, your values, your finances, and everything like that. This can be a huge hole that will suck you dry. You know, like I've seen a lot of my friends here, my single friends, all they do is try to get girls, all they do is go to bars, get wasted, go to the red light district. It's just a huge hedonistic thing that's hard to get out of, and it can have some devastating effects long term. In the short run, I don't think it's bad at all to go on many days, to go on these dating apps, to just try to be out there and try to talk to a lot of women. I think that's honestly, that's fine, but just be aware of the hedonistic tendencies that Thailand has and the negative consequences of nonstop alcoholism, of not making money, of not taking care of your goals, your health, etc. Number three, which is quite similar, is getting into relationships way too quickly. Now, this is one of the biggest mistakes I had here. The first week I came here to Bangkok, the girl that I met, after just one day of dating, we decided to be like boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, how ridiculous is that? But it's easy to kind of fall into that mindset because a lot of women here are very, really good at moving it extremely quickly. Like, they'll want to pack their bags in with you. They'll want to stay with you 3 or 4 days in a row. They'll drop the I love you within a couple weeks of dating. And it can be extremely quick. So the reason I committed to being a boyfriend and girlfriend was not because I genuinely loved her. It was because she pressured me. She was kind of manipulative. And I feel like a lot of women can do that here in Thailand. They'll want to be your committed girlfriend extremely quickly. So I'd recommend dating at least a couple months, getting to know the person, seeing what their potential red flags are. And yeah, I wasn't able to get to that stage when I committed way too fast with my earlier relationship. Now with my loving relationship I have here right now, that you guys always see on my channel, I waited like 4 months before I ever decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend. We went on multiple trips together. We've rarely ever had arguments and there's no drama, no like toxic red flags or anything. So you have to kind of get to this stage to decide if you want to be boyfriend and girlfriend. Number four is signing condo leases too quickly. Now, when you first come to Thailand, the number one thing that you're probably thinking is just touring a bunch of condos and you cannot wait to like live in this huge luxury skyrise with amazing swimming pool and all these fancy amenities, and the rent price is only $550 a month. You have this fantasy and this dream of waking up to the big city, of like swimming and doing laps for your morning routine and hitting the gym as soon as you wake up and all these things. But realistically, when you sign these condos, for the average person, most people do not even use these amenities, and the condos are like 35 square meters, which might not seem bad with your mindset in the beginning, but after a couple months, you realize, damn, this is this is tiny, and I could actually get so much better value condos elsewhere. So not only would I recommend looking at older condos that are much more spacious, but I'd also recommend just staying at Airbnbs for the first couple months. You know, stay at this Airbnb for a week, stay at this hotel for a couple days, go to Pattaya, go to Krabi, go to all these different regions and see maybe you like living there more than Bangkok or wherever, and really having no attachments in your first couple months living here in Thailand. The reason is because the purpose of your first couple months is to really decide how you want your lifestyle to be and which neighborhoods you really like. The neighborhood that you choose to live in dictates your lifestyle. Me living here in Thonglo, I rarely ever go to the other neighborhoods. I only go around Thonglo and Phompong. That's it, because it's in my vicinity and I can get everything done here in my vicinity. First time I came to Thailand, I booked a condo in Bering. And if you know where Bering is, it's so unbelievably far. It's so rural. There's nothing really particularly there. It's extremely like a local lifestyle, which is not what I was looking for. I ended up having to live there for a month because that's how long I booked it for. And it was, it was a regret because I'd have to drive 30 minutes, 45 minutes to get into the city every single day. So you definitely want to do some research on your neighborhoods and just stay at these places short term. And then when you finally feel like you're ready, then you can sign your 12-month condo lease. The next mistake is not getting insurance quick enough. For me, I just assumed because I'm young, I'm not going to be going to the hospital. I'm pretty healthy. I don't really need any insurance until I'm like maybe my 40s or 50s or something. That's a huge flaw to think about, because if at any time I get in a motorbike accident or any serious food poisoning or something, these medical bills can be quite pricey. Even though the healthcare is amazing here in Thailand, it can financially you leave a huge hole in your wallet, and you don't want to be left in that position. So if you travel often or live abroad like me, then you're definitely going to need some travel medical insurance. That's why I recommend Safety Wing, which is the partner of today's video. Now, if you're just doing short-term travel, their Nomad Insurance Essential Plan is very solid. It covers all the basics like unexpected injuries, illnesses, hospital visits, and trip delays, etc. But if you're moving abroad long-term like me, then their complete plan is a much better fit. It includes routine checkups, mental health support, wellness therapy, and even serious treatments like cancer care. On top of that, it covers things like delayed luggage, canceled accommodation, and burglary. This plan is great for digital nomads, remote workers, nomad families, or anyone just looking for borderless healthcare. It works in over 170 countries, so if you're bouncing between places, like spending 6 months in Thailand or a couple months elsewhere, you can use it in multiple countries and stay protected. So if you're looking for convenient insurance, go ahead and scan this QR code or hit the link in my description and get started today. The next mistake is living on vacation mode for too long. Now, it's very easy to get lost in the sauce here in Thailand. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's basically too much of something can be very bad for you. This can include nonstop partying or chasing girls or alcoholism or just losing yourself and not being grounded. Thailand is probably one of the most tempting places because it's one of the most dopamine producing countries, and it's super exciting, and there's like a lot of vices here, and yeah, it can be kind of seen as like a playground. The next one is not taking visas seriously. Now, if you're just staying here for a couple months, I don't really think you need to stress way too much. You can stay here for like 4 to 5 months, relatively easier, but anything longer than that, you're probably going to need to look at a education visa, a DTV visa, or an elite visa, or consider even working here in Thailand and getting a work visa. And if you're over 50 years old, you should definitely look at the retirement visa as well. And you definitely need to be careful of visa scams. Now, I would never trust a random visa shop that you see in a mall or that you see in a random alley somewhere. I would not particularly trust them, because the first year I got scammed $1,500, which is a ton of money, and I got a 63-day visa overstay. If that had been 90 days, I would have suffered huge consequences and a 1-year ban of entering Thailand again because of my visa overstay. So these visa overstays, these visa policies, these regulations, they are extremely serious, and you don't want to be in that situation. The next one is not driving my own motorbike sooner. Now, if you live in Bangkok, it can be extremely intimidating to even think to drive through this chaotic roads and these like really maneuvering motorbikes in this intense traffic. It can be really scary, but in my opinion, after having driven for around 4 months now with my own motorbike every single day, I think it's much safer that I'm in control and that I can drive my own speed and my own comfort than trusting all these random Grab drivers who sometimes are intoxicated, sometimes try to get to the place as fast as possible, who are extremely jaded. I think if you're gonna be on motorbikes every single day, that it'd probably be a better position for you to drive. Now, if you don't know how to ride a bicycle, or you cannot ride an electronic scooter, then I probably would not recommend riding your own motorbike, but if you're pretty good at balancing and you can ride a bicycle decently, then I think a motorbike is not that dangerous for you. But again, this is going to depend on your risk level. I think it's much safer if you're in control. So what I would do is do a test drive, rent a motorbike for a couple days, drive in a huge parking lot, and just kind of see how you adjust. Now, the next regret is not learning Thai sooner. Now, if you're only staying here for a couple months, I don't really think it's necessary, but if you're staying here long term, you want to be able to at least speak a couple sentences to these locals and to be able to not have to use Google Translate when you're on the back of the motorbike telling the Grab driver where to go, or when you're trying to order food at the restaurants. And it feels good to be able to speak the language and to be able to interact with these locals who you're going to be meeting every single day. Now for me, I've been passively learning for the past year through speaking with my Thai girlfriend and through going to language exchange classes and through even booking my own private tutor and having my own Thai textbooks. But I would say the easiest way to learn is to actually want to learn and to make it kind of fun, kind of gamify it. For example, if you know how to flirt with Thai women, if you know these kind of Thai pickup phrases or these kind of cute expressions and stuff, it's fun to be able to express that. Or if you know these kind of Thai slang words, it's fun to be able to use that with your Thai friends, and it kind of makes it more fun, more entertaining. Rather than just buying a textbook and forcing yourself to learn, it's very grueling, it's very difficult. You want to make it fun and you want to make it social. That brings me to my next regret, which is only hanging out with other foreigners. And I get it, it's easy to get mixed up into these expat bubbles because you can relate to them, because you can speak with them, and because they do the same business as you, or they have the same story as you. And these Thai locals, they might not have the best English, but if you're living here long term, it's really good to have a good set of Thai people you can rely on, that you can speak with, that you can hang out with, and it just makes it a lot more fun, a lot more enjoyable, and it allows you to immerse yourself into the Thai culture a lot better. My last regret is not moving here sooner. Now, it's easy to come into analysis paralysis and to really overthink this decision of moving to Thailand or even visiting Thailand. You might let life get in the way. But as with a lot of decisions in life, most decisions are reversible. As in, if you make the decision to move here to Thailand and if you end up thinking it's a mistake, then you can move back home. It's not the worst case scenario. You're probably not going to go bankrupt. You're probably going to be just fine. So I think it's better to make a quick decision about it and then pursue it and have a game plan, right? But a lot of people just kind of brush it off. They wait years and years before ever doing it, and who knows what might happen. So I think it's a good decision to plan a little bit and make the decision and just do it, just go ahead and do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to check out my remote work resource down in the description if you're interested in finding a remote work job. As always, follow me on Instagram at I'm Pauly, and I'll see you guys in the next video.